Hey there, welcome to another exciting episode. So, basically, in this video, we will clean our dataset, and this is a customer's call list dataset. Alright, so basically, we will go through every process of cleaning, and we will clean all of the data, and in the end, you will see a clean and nice data. Alright, so let's start. So, first of all, we import our libraries, necessary libraries like import pandas as PD. Then now we need to import our data frame here. Data set. So let's have a look at the data set. So basically in this, by defining this exclamation mark, you can basically write your uh, shell commands here. All right. So it will run these as the shell commands if you write this exclamation. So we have this data set. So let's just grab one here and just read it. So basically this is Excel file, all right? So let's read Excel file, Excel, and grab Excel here and call this df, all right? So here call data frame. Now let's have a look at our data frame. So we can say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 columns. One of them is customer ID, then we have first name, last name, phone number, address. We can see the backslash slashes here, dots here, and underscores. So we don't have need data, and we can also see here that there is no formatting. You can see here sometimes we have yes, sometimes we have y only, and there we have a not useful column which we don't need because this column is not useful, so we need to drop this one here. In address, we can see that we have a street address, then we have a state, sometimes we have a zip code. All right, so in phone numbers we can see there that we have many format. There are many formats in our phone number column, like you can see with the slashes, with the minus or whatever. Then we have slashes, then we have pipes, and you can also see that we have none values in our data frames. All right, so basically these none values are detected by the pandas, but there are another none values we can see here like n minus a. So these so pandas were failed to detect these as a none values. So let's take these as a none values too. All right, so let's specify here at you can see here you can press shift and tab on your Mac, so it will give you a option here. You can see NA values. So let's specify uh, this one as NA value. All right, so now let's have a look again. So yes, you we can now see that these are not a number value now. All right, so we handled our missing values for now. So now let's proceed on to the next step here. So first of all, we can let have a look at our like info. So we can see that customer ID is N64, first name, all of the remaining column we have objects, like we have a strings, all right, and it makes sense that every other column will be a string except this one, customer ID, all right. So first, so I want to look at a customer ID. Uh, there is no space. And is there any duplicated value? So let's have a look if there is any duplicated value. So we can see that we have duplicated value in customers. All right. So yes, we can see that in the last row we have same rows at last. All right. So let's drop the same rows. So basically these are the duplicated rows. So this is very you can call drop duplicate function. This one on the data frame, and let's have a look there. Yes, now that row has been dropped. All right, Can we specify in place? Yes, we can specify in place is equal to true. So let's specify in place is equal to true. And also let's have a look at our data frame again. Yes, now we can see that we have unique customers. All right. So basically, this is a customer's data, and where we have information for their first name, last name, phone number, address, paying customer, do not contact, and not useful column. So here we can see that we have not useful column. We want to drop this, so it's very easy. Yes, we can grab the column name and then sorry, we can call a drop here. We need to specify access here. Basically, this is a we want to drop a column. So for column, we need to I specify one which represents a column, and then we can in place is equal to true. Now let's have a look at our data frame. Now that column has been dropped. You can see here. All right. So now we can start with our data here. Here we can see that the first name is very clear, and before that I need to like um, clean our these columns. So what I can do is data frame dot columns is equal to uh, call dot script, all right, and maybe lowercase uh, script, and then first of all I want to make all the columns in lowercase, then strip, then for call in different dot columns, all right. And also after lowering and stripping, I want to split that string onto the space if we have any space, all right. Then now this whole is the what do you say list, and then I want to join this whole list on the um, let me if we have some no we have no option here, maybe we need to do this join this all uh, with this underscore, right? Perhaps you forget a comma here. Yes, sorry, we need to add a dot here. Now let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can see that we lowered all our data columns, all right, and you can see here that there were no underscore here. I put it the underscore here, and all of the what you say all of the columns names are now in a good format, I think. All right, so now let's move on to the next step. So now we can see that we have a neat and clean customer ID column. We have neat and clean first name column. We don't need to clean here because everything looks great. Then we can see that we have a column last name here. All right. So first of all, let's look at the last name column. Dot unique values. Let's have a look at unique values. You can also see here that we have backslash here, we have dot here, we have underscore here. So we need to remove that. First of all, let's uh, right grab our column, and then these are all strings, all right. So we can apply string function here. Here we can strip, and here if we write like if I run this, you can see it by default removes the white spaces, sorry, from the left and right of the string, all right. So we can see here that uh, it doesn't make sense here, because we need to remove dots and this one. So how we will approach this? So we can simply pass a parameter here. Here we can specify this backslash slash here. This we also want to remove dots here, and we also want to remove this underscore here. So let's specify this one here. Now let's run this. Now we can see that we have now a nicer column now. All right, and here we can see that we have a none value. So it this is as it is, and now we have a nicer column. So let's assign this to last column name, and also now look at a let's have a look at our data frame. Now we have a nice and neat last name column. All right. So we can see here that we have a none values here. So basically, we can drop this one, but we will handle this later. All right. So now let's move on to the next column here, which is the phone number. So let's grab that phone number column here. All right. And we can see that we have many formats. We have sometime slashes, sometime minus, sometime pipes, and sometime maybe we have full number. All right, so there is no consistent format, but I want all of the phone numbers in this format. So this is a simple one. We will use rejects here. So basically, let's have a look at a unique values here. We can see that we have a unique values here. Uh, so these are the unique values in these columns, where we can see that we have the object as a column type, and also we can see that we have some numbers. Here you can see we have strings, none values, and also we have a number. All right. So first of all, let's and this number is in the third if we count from the top. So what we can do is we can grab the phone number. Here we can see str dot what do you say, replace. All right, so here we want to replace. um, Here we will specify our pattern here. So here we can see say that we want to replace any character other than digit with empty string, and we need to specify that this is a regex. So this is a regex. Now let's have a look. So we can see yes, we successfully converted all our numbers. Like we removed characters, any characters other than digits. All right, we removed all of that characters here. We can see here we now have just a numbers. But here we can notice that in the third column we have a none value, and in the four we have a none. In these we have a none. If we look at our original data frame here, we can see here that we have in this third here we can see we have a number, and here we are getting a non value, but this is not okay case. All right, we don't basically when we apply this, basically if it found that the coming is integer, it basically specified that as a none. All right, so basically it's only process only those which are strings. If these are not strings, what it will do, it will basically convert that to a nan value. So this is not good in our case. All right, we want to keep this as well. So what we can do here, so basically we can do here is we can first of all we can convert these numbers to some like strings here. So let's convert these numbers to strings. So let's first of all check if we can like do something like this. Grab phone number here, dot as type function, and let's specify here string dot. Now let's have a look at unique values. Now we can see that this not working well because it also converted the none values to string, but we don't want that. All right, so let's have a look at another way. We can use apply function here. All right, so let's have a phone number, then we have a apply function here, and every single element or data value will come to this apply function here. We can define our one line function here, which is a lambda. We are going to take x here, and we will now here we need to apply logic. So basically if there are numbers, we need to convert this to strings. All right, So what I will do here is I will do here is str x. We are going to return string. We are converting that x to string and then we are returning. But when we will do that, when we will do that if is instance, if x is the instance of int, else otherwise we will return x, simple x. All right. So let's have a look at the function here. Now we can see that, and now first of all let's have a look at unique value. So now we can look that we have numbers in a string, all right, and we can see that we have a none as a none, all right. So what we did here, we basically applied a lambda function here, and we are saying here if x is an instance of integer. So basically if coming input is an integer, so we are converting that coming in integer to string and we are returning that. And otherwise if this is not instance of integer, it's mean that it may be non value or maybe string, so we are returning that as that whatever it was, all right, without applying some techniques on it. So now let's first of all, let's apply this, save this to the phone number column here. Now let's have a look at data frame. Now we can see that all of the numbers here are now converted to the string. So basically these are now a strings instead of a number. Now we will apply replace function here. Now this data frame dot sorry, yes, this one here dot str. Now here we will replace to we can specify, or else we can specify like regex here, and here I am going to say that we want every match other than digit, and we want to replace that with empty string here, and we need to tell pandas that this is a regex. Now we can see that we have nicer formats and without losing any our data. All right. So here we can see that where we have four non values, and here we are getting only four non values. So we are not losing our data here. So now we have this data here, and now we need to format this. So first of all, let's assign this back to this column. Now let's have a look at data frame. Now we need to give this specific format, all right. And now let's give that format using, let me specify what that format would be. First of all, check its data type. What is now data type is, it's 0, all right. And if it's, let me look at this one, unique values here, we can see that these are the strings, all right. Now these are the strings. So now what we can do here is um, we can apply a function on it, and we can specify our lambda function here x, and we would format here like this one here, then we have this, then we have this, all right. So I am specifying here that I need x, and I need 0 to 3 here, and then here I need 3 to 6, and here I need 6 to 10. Alright, now let's have a look at our, but its float object is not scriptable. Okay, alright. So basically we are getting none values. So we need to like check this. So basically we need to apply a function here if x if x is instance, if x is instance of str, then we are going to return this, otherwise we are going to return x. Now let's have a look. We can now see that we have nicer format, all right. So yes, we achieved this. Now let's assign back to the phone number column, and yes, it's done. Now let's have a look at data frame. Now we can see that we now have one nicer data frame till here, all right. All right, so basically here we can see that the client can ask you like I only want those data which we have phone number. Basically, this is a customer's call list data, and here we need only those data which must have phone number because the company will call these customers or maybe for some specific purpose or some advertisement or whatever. All right. So we don't want those data which has none values here. So we can see none values here. So we can just drop the phone number and values here. All right. So we can specify data frame dot drop. Here we can specify here we can specify a subset. Here we can't find subset. Uh, subset. Okay. Basically, where we are not finding any subset, like let's specify subset here. Here we can see a phone number column here. All right. Now let's have a look at this. Let's search for this drop NA. Sorry, drop NA. So it will be drop NA function. All right. So basically, we want to drop here, drop and basically we want to drop NA values here. So here we can see a subset here. Um, and basically drop function uses for the columns if we want to drop a column or a index. If we want to drop any value, so we need to specify drop any here, and here we can see a subset here. All right. So subset, and here we can also specify a single column here. Here we can see phone number. So now let's have a look. Now we dropped every row where we have a NA values. All right. So now let's have a look our data frame. Oh, the data frame isn't changed because we uh, we forget to specify in place here. So let's specify in place here. All right, now let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can see that we have only those data where we have phone numbers. All right, now it makes sense. And we had a none value here, but it also dropped because uh, let's have a look at yes, we have a none value because we have also a none value for phone number. So basically, it dropped every row where we had a none value at phone number, and we like had a none value at this column. So basically it matches to this none value, so it dropped. All right. So now we can see that we here till this phone number column we have a nicer data. All right. So now let's move on to the next column here, and this is the address column. What we can do here is we can basically what you can say here, we can see that this is a street. All right. Here we can see that after comma we have a what you say here, we have a state here, then we have a zip code. So this is not manageable, right? So we need to like format this one here. I am going to specify the column address. Then let's split this column onto the comma, and we need to specify, and we want uh, number of splits. We maximum want number of two splits. All right. Now let's have a look. Now we can see that we have a list of maximum of two splits. All right. Sometimes we have a list of two items, a list of three items, depending on how many commas are in their values. So basically now we want to convert these to columns, new columns. So that's over how we can achieve that. Now let's have a look at the params of this function. Why I'm not seeing the params here? I don't know. I'm pressing that. Okay, we need to specify a type here. All right. No, not seeing any. I expand. Okay, okay. We need to specify a type here. We can see that we have three params. We can specify expand here. Let's specify expand here and expand here, and we can specify true. All right. So it would give us a data frame here, 0, 1, 2. All right. Now we can see that for some because uh, If we have no value for this state, we would have none, and same for the zip code here. All right. So let's uh, assign a new columns. So we can say here that zero column would be the street, second column would be the state, third column would be the zip code. All right. Let's show this. Let's and here we are. Now let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can see that we have new two columns, um, street, state, and zip code. All right, and we can also see that we still have address column. We can drop this column, or if you want to drop this column, you can. All right. Okay, so let's drop this column. Sure. So let's grab the address column. Sorry, for dropping we need to specify drop function here. Here we need to specify a column, and that's address column not found in access address. Let me specify here address. What is address not found in access? Why it's saying like that? Let's have a look at the data frame drop function here. All right. So here um, specify a column name now again. All right, we need to specify access here. All right, so we need to specify that we want to drop address and which is a column. So for a column we need to specify access here. Before that it was considering that address is the index, but we don't have an index. All right, we had an address as a column. So now by defining the axis, now it dropped the axis address column here. Now let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can still see our address column here because we didn't specify that in place argument here. All right, now we can now I will run that. We can't find address column here. All right, so now we can see that we have none values here. All right, and also we have a none values here. And first of all, let's clean these two columns. Let's convert these to like same values or same theme. Now we can see like sometime we have yes, sometime we have y, whatever. So now first of all, let's clean our paying customer column. Let's do this quickly. Specify now we need to str now we need to replace here, and we need to replace every yes with y, capital Y here. All right, and I want to specify this. Well, first of all, let's have a look at this. So we can see that we successfully converted. All right. So now let's assign this back to this, and let's do this for no. What happened? Sorry. So for this, now let's convert this to no to n. Now let's have a look at the data frame. Yes. Now this column is the neat and clean. All right. So let's do same for this do not contact column. So let's copy out this, and here we can specify a do not contact column. Basically these are the customers which says that do not contact me. All right, so for the yes, the customer is saying like I don't want to like contact me again in future. So basically the client or the company can say us like clean that data, only give us those data which are saying that contact us. So we need to do that, like we need to drop all of the yes uh, values. All right, yes rows here, yes rows in the data frame, and which are in the do not contact column. So now let's first of all convert here paying customers. Now we have, now let's take do not contact, uh, and convert this to yes. First of all, let's have a look at, I want to look at something or note. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's okay. Now let's convert this. Now let's have a look at data frame. Now we can see that we have a nicer data frame. All right, and all are in the same format. We had a none values, three none values in these columns, and we can now see that we have, and for now we also have a none values. All right. So basically, when we process the a specific column, whenever it finds the none values, it don't disturbs that. All right. So yes, for now we keep this. Now we have a nicer columns from here to here. Now we need to handle our none values here. So let's handle the none values here. And here basically we have a none values in do not contact column. And maybe for some reason the customer hasn't provided this data, or maybe the data is missing, or whatever could happen here. So basically we want to convert this to no. All right, basically we don't want to lose this data. Maybe some of these are saying like yes, contact me in future, and if we like drop these rows depending on this value column, so it's not a good practice here. So we need to convert this none to no. All right, so now what we can see here, that for do not contact column, um, what we can see here, dot fill na value. Here we can specify tab method in place limit, access in place downcast. Let's look at above how we filled before. We filled here. Uh, we filled maybe here something here, right? Let's let me look. All right, we were like dropping. We haven't filled. All right, so what we can do here is we can grab that column here. From my knowledge, we can do this. There are many multiple ways to do this. Fill NA. I can see that fill NA here, and fill NA with no. Let's have a look at this column. Now we can see that for every NN value we have a no n value. All right. So now let's assign this back to this column here, and let's have a look at our column. Yes, now we can see that we have a nicer data. All right. Now we can see that, and now just broadcast a fill NA function through our data frame. And now let's convert every none values to simple string, empty string. All right, now fill na. All right, and just specify in place is equal to true. Let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can see that now we have a nicer data frame. Right, now the last thing is left, and this is what we need to filter. We need to only keep only those records where we have a n value in this column. All right, because for that customers where we have y, this is a useless data for a company, because the company want to contact these customers, and company will contact only those customer where we have a no value, like for contact only those customer where the customer is saying like yes, you can contact me in future. All right, so we need to filter that. So basically we need to drop all of the rows where we have y in this do not contact column. All right, so basically what we can do is we can specify drop here, drop na values here on the function. Here we can specify a subset. All right, here I can see that drop all of the NA rows from the data frame for the column do not contact. Um, okay, no. basically I'm doing wrong here. There is no drop NA. We want to drop the Y here. Sorry for this. So basically what I can do is I can data framed, I can pull a drop function here. All right. And here I can say that I want to drop those rows for which we have do not contact column. And here I can specify an index here. All right. And let's now check what happens here. Uh, do not contact. I want those data frame where we have do not contact is equal to y. All right. Where we have equal to y, and here we want to specify the index for that. Now we can see that we have a nice and cleaner data. All right. So we dropped all of the rows where we had a y. Now we have a nicer data here. Finally. So let me explain this step again. Here I am saying that from the data frame drop, what I'm saying, drop those rows, all right, where we have a y value for the do not contact column, and we are like when we are giving the indexes to this drop column in the end. All right. So basically these are the indexes at the end. After calculating, these are the indexes at the end which I am giving to this drop function here. And if I look at our data frame, we can still see y value here because I didn't specify here the in place. Whenever I will specify in place here, now if I run this, you can see now we have a nicer and cleaner column here. We can we can see in like inconsistency in the index. We can see inconsistency in the index. We can also like we can also correct this. I can see here reset index. All right. Here basically by default reset index, what it does, it take these indexes and saved it as a column, because and we don't want to save this as a column. We need to drop. Let's have a look at this. Yes, so let's drop that column. Let's drop the existing indexes and reset it, and let's specify, maybe we need to specify in place. Yes, we need to specify in place here. Now let's have a look at our data frame. Now we can see that we have a nicer and neat and clean data. All right, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you liked this video. If you like this video, please like and do subscribe, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Thank you so much guys. Bye bye.